Oh, just how sweet victory is when that trophy comes back to Philly. Um, yeah, I don't even know. I mean, we couldn't show anything down on the actual street level, like people probably firing off guns and like climbing poles and all that stuff. But that paints a good picture of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, baby.
I mean, not only did they win, they literally kicked the shit out of the Chiefs.
I don't know. I mean, and I apologize if this is a family show. There is no other way to say it, but the Eagles absolutely kicked the shit out of the Empire.
I don't. What's up, Eileen? I like just watching the game. I didn't. It was almost like it wasn't real. Like it was on Madden and it was on easy.
And it's just like I kept thinking about and I'm gonna apologize for me and Scott in advance because like during the Super Bowl party I was at, like on the Uber ride there, my throat started to hurt. Like so before the game, I'm getting sick again. This sucks. And Scott said the same thing. He was starting to feel it the next day. So I apologize. I'm still sick. The energy level might not be there for us just winning the Super Bowl, but trust me, we got it all out Sunday and Monday.
It just I just kept thinking like when it was like 17-0, I'm like, all right, they can still come back.
I kept thinking, dude, no lie, I kept thinking about 28-3 with Brady and the Falcons, and I'm like, dude, like I'm still kind of worried, but like here, let me get some of the comments out of the way. Cowboys. Hey, Mrs. Pizza.
What's up, Mom?
Yes, what a game. So, Derek, here's the thing. In all fairness, our mayor, Governor the Philadelphia mayor, spelled it ELGLES. You forgot the L after the E. Now, and then to combat that, the way that a lot of people pronounce it is those Eagles.
Those Eagles.
Which is exactly how that should be spelled. So, I gotta hand it to you a little bit for that one. So no excuses. We want results. Well, we'll have to give Scott a few shots, a few like 30 beers to get him in network show form for you, Casey.
It looked like Pat Mahomes was very scared.
I mean, and I know they said like it was funny that was like the fifth most like rushes or not rushes I forget the word I'm trying to use here. It was like the fifth most pressure that he's ever had, like statistically in a game.
It looked
like I don't remember him ever looking that bad.
Like he couldn't even like his feet, like he couldn't do anything in the pocket. No,
he just couldn't do anything.
It was so bad he was running into his own offensive line.
Yeah, well, his own offensive line actually tackled him. I don't know if you saw that.
At one point, that
was terrible. They were probably like, "Dude, go down."
Yeah, just go down.
Until the last quarter.
Nah,
after, dude, I'm not kidding. After halftime, after halftime, I was like, all right, there's still time for them to come back, but then they came right out, and I'm like, I don't know, we ain't losing.
You knew it was over after Avonte Maddox
waiting for the made a play.
On 4th and 5, I was like, all right, this game's over. And then the dagger with Jalen Hurts to Smitty. I mean, you come out and you throw that.
I wish I saw the picture at work or when I was home instead of while I was at work. Like it was the end of the day, but there was a picture that got released of that pass, and you see Devontae downfield.
See AJ Brown.
You see AJ Brown and Saquon already cheering. Like the ball's still in the air, and they're cheering. And I'm just like, the Eagles have never felt a confidence like that.
No.
He's got Sean Burns. Let's go. That's right, Don. That's right. Derek says it was over after the first. I will say probably one of the most dominant defensive performances I've ever seen. And then Casey drops in and says, credit where credit is due. The Eagles are running the NFC now.
They're running the league.
And I'm not trying to – I'm not there yet. I'm not. Can we real quick, and this is the only time I'll bring it up because both of them are on, guys, can you please rein in your quarterback, your Dallas Cowboys quarterback, that they kept up with the Eagles?
No, they're very close.
That they're very close. I'm like, what is close to you then? Because that is scary if you think that's close.
You got Emmitt Smith out here telling Dallas fans to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm just, and I'm like, dude, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I remember when the Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb and Eagles. I mean, we were all pissed because we wanted the Eagles. Obviously, everybody would have wanted him. But I'm like, for Dak Prescott to come out and say that, I'm like, I don't.
No, not that.
There's so many other things he could say.
Not
Casey
that.
Said, what do you want him to say? He has to say that. I don't think he has to say that.
He says it every year, though. Like it's.
Well, that's the thing too.
He said it. He said it this past season too. But for him to come out and say that after what 24, 48 hours after the Eagles just dominated a dynasty almost. Yeah, I just think that was the wrong choice of words.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna stir the pot here. It's. We'll leave that for the next few months until September comes. We'll do this all over again. But anyway, like Derek said, I mean, like if you could have split the MVP award, it would have gone to Hurts and the whole entire defensive line.
Yeah, for real. I mean,
it was absolutely ridiculous.
I'll tell you,
you can't say anybody expected that either.
No.
Except Derek. Derek said 34-20.
I will say this. Jalix Hunt looked really good. The snaps that he played, it was just you got no words. I mean, it was flawless football.
It really was. I mean, here we'll get right into it. So, I mean, thanks again for Dustin for showing me how to use Canva. I have to say, with the final score, obviously 40-22. Let's be real. Like at the bottom, I had to put. It was 40-6. The Eagles defense was probably like, yeah, we're just take.
They took them out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say just take the extra 16 points. We don't care. It's fine. Wine Scott expected. We're gonna have. I swear to God, I know none of us are gonna forget that quarterback conversation, and it's gonna come up again.
And it's so funny that he won the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, to be real, I mean, the Chiefs didn't cross midfield until 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, not one person except Worthy looked good on that team.
Yeah,
and that wasn't until the end of the fourth quarter,
with like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. And like, look, I'm not. We all know that the Chiefs can literally just run it back next year and make the Super Bowl again. Like, I'm not saying that.
No,
it's going to be tougher because Kelce definitely looked terrible.
I'm going to be honest with you. He looked so slow. He could barely get off the line. He couldn't catch anything really. I think he had four catches.
Something.
He was trying to pick fights.
Yeah. And then, well, I mean, that's what he does. I think that's his. Yeah, he's like Jamie Tart and Ted Lasso. I think the one play that like really stuck out to me was, which is what we talked about during the network show, was it seems like when Mahomes is in trouble and he starts scrambling and everything like that, Kelce always, after he's run his route, he'll go run something else real quick and they always find each other. There was one clip that I saw today after watching some highlights where Mahomes is literally scrambling. It's the one where he ran and got a first down.
Yeah.
He ran like 10, 11 yards or something like that. Kelce is just standing there. He ran his route and he's literally in the middle of the field and he's just standing there. He's literally just like got his arms up like, I don't know. And I'm like, I've never seen him just stop running and stop trying.
I just think what Derek said, it was over after the first quarter. I mean, they just looked defeated after the first quarter. They literally looked like they were like, oh crap, we're in trouble. Like, they came to play.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not trying to say like, did the Chiefs just think it was going to be so easy just to it was going to not get handed to them? I'm not making a ref thing.
Yeah.
But like that they just came in and was like, all right, we already beat them before. And I mean, here was the Eagles. Just they did not forget anything. Well, and when they saw all the people on ESPN and everywhere picking the Chiefs to win, it was just,
that's like a
slap in the face.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a mistake. I mean, if the Chiefs actually thought that, I mean, because they easily could have lost 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
My
they couldn't even. I mean, the Eagles lined up on the wrong side on AJ Brown's touchdown. like,
and the tight ends and him. Everybody like, yeah, our
it
main
was
receivers
like,
lined up wrong, and it still worked out. That's where when you sent me that, I was just like, yeah, that just showed there was no chance we were losing.
when I saw that
Everything was just working in our favor.
when I saw that video, Jalen was like in shock. He's like, "Yo, the tight ends lined up wrong."
Yeah, yeah. That's it's, and then the coach is just laughing about it. And to me, I'm like, yo, Jalen looks kind of pissed. Like,
He was mad, probably. He was
yeah,
probably like, "We're in the Super Bowl."
yeah. But I mean, it's just, I mean, we'll get to this a little, next slide, next 2 slides or whatever. But it was just, I know the one thing I saw was they said that they were worried that Mahomes might have had a concussion or something, or because there was one play in the beginning where, like, and I saw it, he nailed his head on the ground.
You talking about the Jalen Hunt one?
I think where it was
I don't
early in
know.
the game.
I mean, he got that was probably the hardest I've ever seen him get hit that whole game.
Well, I mean, it was basically he got tripped up and just he's going down and slammed his head right into the ground.
There was one play, I don't know if you saw it from like an aerial view. He like launched it and Jalen Hunt just absolutely leveled him and he smacked his head as well. So he might have had a concussion, but I mean, are you really going to put in Carson Wentz?
Dude.
I was waiting for it with like 2 minutes left.
I mean, no, that they made the right move keeping Carson on the bench because so far the Eagles have 2 Super Bowls with Carson Wentz on the bench. So
I'll tell you what though, I think the biggest hit was the Jalen Carter one.
Yeah. To the face.
Yeah, like literally to the face.
Yeah. And that's why I saw so many people like complaining about that with like, everyone complaining about the refs and all that. And it's just like the game really was just done by the time that happened. Yeah.
It was over. The refs never had a chance to actually dictate the game.
I would love everyone else's opinion because I think we talked about it a little bit, but I was really, zoned in on the game. That deep pass on third down to AJ Brown in the beginning of the game that kind of like set the tone and it got called back to offensive. Yeah, I was like, well, right then I was like, here we go. Here it is. All of us. We're just like, here we go.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The Eagles didn't let that. They didn't phase them. They didn't let.
No, they came right back. They
scored
drive.
Yeah, that was the Dotson.
Yeah.
Well, the tush push. I thought yeah. But I mean,
according to all these fans out there, they should have just given Dotson the touchdown because the touch push is just an automatic touchdown. So I mean, they should have just given it to him. You knew it was coming.
Oh yeah, I just like I said, the refs didn't have a chance to dictate the game, and that was the biggest key.
Yeah. So looking at this, our receivers. And this ties into Saquon Barkley because Saquon Barkley even had 40 yards receiving on 6 receptions. He had more receptions than our wide receivers. That just shows
which is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, it just shows how ridiculous he is, but it also is a credit to him because he combined for 97 yards. But Devontae Smith had 69, AJ Brown only 43, Dotson 42 on. His long was 27, and that was that touchdown that got called back. Not called back, but his knee was down. And Dallas Goedert. I think one of my favorite things is the fact that the average yardage that they got.
And look at Saquon's.
And Saquon's was 6.7, yeah. But then you got 40 yards on 6 passes. But Devontae Smith, his average was 17 yards.
I know it was just it was insane.
Yeah. And it's just everybody participated. And it was the fact that Saquon is such a threat that it looked like Kansas City's defense. It's almost like that's all they tried to prepare for was stopping Saquon.
Which, I mean, in reality, they sort of did. It's just Jalen beat him.
They did. They stood him up, but he still got 57 yards rushing.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't know if they were so confident in their pass defense that they were just like, all right, like we'll figure it out, but we need to make sure that we stop Saquon. I'm like, yeah, but then you freed up everybody, and it showed big time.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
Dotson didn't even have a pass thrown to him the previous 2 games. He comes out and almost gets a touchdown and catches 2 or 3.
yeah, and
For
not
42
like not
yards.
only that. I mean, Barkley didn't even have 100 yards total yards, and they
Total.
still scored 40 points.
And not a touchdown.
Nah. No.
And then here, my mom actually just said it. That's because they never thought Jalen would throw the ball. I think that's the biggest thing is
I mean, maybe I don't see. Like I keep going back to 2 years ago when he threw for over 300 yards.
right. But the run game was such a story for us this year between those two that they probably thought it was such a strength in these first 2 games in the playoffs that's what we were going to just stick with, and that's what they concentrated on. And then the Eagles came out with Kellen Moore, just like, go ahead,
all the game of your life.
yeah, oh, dude, seriously. But I mean, he came out was just like, go ahead, stop Saquon, because I'm going to run it down your throat with Hurts, and I'm going to pass it down the field, no problem. Each of their catches too were like impactful catches.
Oh
like,
yeah,
they were going downfield on 3rd and long or something like that, and it's just like they were not afraid to do whatever it took and go for and take chances, which everybody loved. You can't
be
that.
scared.
No, and I think it really just that blew everybody away. Is the offense too, more the defense obviously, but the Eagles defense. Just went on. I found this picture and I'm like, that's just too good. The Eagles defense had 6 sacks, 16 pressures. Excuse me. Josh Sweat had 2.5 sacks, and then Cooper DeJean on his birthday. And it pissed me off because I said to my brother before,
I should have put money in.
I said, dude, I was thinking about actually taking an Eagles defensive touchdown today. I was like, but that's just so rare. Like against Mahomes, I'm like, I don't. And then all of a sudden that happens, and I'm literally smacking my brother in the back, screaming at him, saying, "What did I say?"
And the interceptions were like terrible. Like
they were bad.
I don't know if it was because of Mahomes just running around and he was panicking and he just wanted to get rid of the ball.
Well, I know the one that Bond got.
There was not a receiver in sight.
No, the one that Bond got, he was trying to throw like across his body.
Yeah,
he was getting taken down. So that one I get. The one with DeJean,
that was going
terrible. To nobody else except him.
Yeah, and then Cooper DeJean was like, "Well, if I wasn't catching it, Quinyon was, because Quinyon was right behind him."
Yeah.
But I just it was just weird to me.
Yeah. The Zach Ball one was really nice because that was a nice diving catch.
Yeah, and he was actually going the other way.
Right. Yeah. So that was literally stopping in your tracks and just diving and throwing your body. But I have you ever? It's like, when's the last time you saw, just in general in the NFL, a defensive performance like that in the Super Bowl?
I mean, I guess Seattle when they won 43-8, but I'm not. I don't know, dude. I mean, all I'm gonna say is you can put the GOAT conversation to rest for a while.
Yeah, it's
because Tom Brady ain't having games like this.
I mean,
I don't think Tom Brady would let that happen.
I mean, it's. I saw his interview that Tom Brady did, where he was just like, people, you remember your Super Bowl losses more than you remember your wins. And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, you lost to our backup and Eli Manning
twice,
right? So,
but like they weren't blowouts.
Right.
Like
I mean, and Tom Brady still threw for like 500 yards against us.
Yeah, and like literally could have been MVP if Nick Foles didn't play if Nick Foles played terrible. But Pat Mahomes, I mean, lost 2 Super Bowls by a total of 40 points.
Yeah.
Like
to
Tom Brady.
To Tom Brady and now to us.
Yeah.
And can we talk too about Nick Foles trolling Tom Brady on Twitter, dude? That was so good.
He's so
there and be like,
"Oh
my God, it's Tom Brady's got to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl twice, or whatever the hell he said, or been part of 2 Eagles Super Bowls." And that commercial was good too.
The commercial was good, yeah.
The commercial was good. I'm like, yeah, at least he's a good sport about it. Like,
well, now he is because he's
really
retired.
puts to rest all that he doesn't like.
Yeah. No, He's a lot better since he retired.
Yeah. I mean, I again, I had no problem with him during the Super Bowl, calling the game and everything. I mean, it's
Nah.
because how many Super Bowls has he been to? I'm gonna take his word and like his in-game experience and what you're feeling, and then especially when like you saw Mahomes and a couple of them crying on the sideline while the game's going on, he's like, yeah, like at this point it's over. Like it's
Yeah.
everything's
I
gonna
mean,
start hitting
you
you.
saw Chris Jones fell to his knees.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Tom said if Travis was more focused on football, he would have won it. And Jason said if Tom would have focused on his wife, he would still be married. Um, but yeah, I mean, there was one other point, and I forgot to put it on here. Damn it! And I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna remember it right when we end. But anyway, obviously, he's to second Super Bowl appearance. He wins Super Bowl MVP. 17 for 22, 221 yards passing, 2 passing TDs and 1 rushing TD, and 72 yards rushing. I want to know also what he calls the tush push because I saw him say on Jimmy Kimmel that's not what he calls it.
He calls it the QB sneak. I'm telling you right now, the media has to be so upset that Saquon didn't win MVP because Jalen Hurts does not talk. He doesn't do anything.
No, he doesn't.
He don't like they were chugging beers and he didn't even drink it.
I know he poured it on
on Jergens.
Yeah.
Like
also Disney needs to get their head out of their ass and do a better float.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like we know what you're gonna get out of Jalen, but they don't know. Like the media thinks that they can try and crack him.
Yeah.
He just won the Super Bowl and he's just like still like this. Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, I loved his interview. Yeah, I know he said it didn't hit him until like after he got back in the locker room.
He still was fine.
He's still just chilling, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably not even going to change the background on my phone. It's still going to be me losing the Super Bowl." And I'm like, "Yo, you know what? That's fine. Whatever it takes for you to keep bringing Super Bowls to us, I will gladly take it. Look miserable. I don't care."
Like, did you see him on the roller coaster ride showing no emotion?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Stone cold, man.
Maybe they gotta give him a Percocet for Friday's Eagles parade to like get him out of his comfort zone.
Oh, dude. For the love of God. Could you imagine? He'll be drinking non-alcoholic beer or something up there.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
Let's be real.
I'm wondering it. I guess is he like Bryce Harper with that? Like he just doesn't drink?
I guess. I mean, he was smoking a cigar. I was kind of surprised by that.
I mean, Harper did that.
I know, but Harper also. Well, granted, they were drinking Budweiser. Like that's not even really beer. So.
And I mean, honestly, it doesn't surprise me about Harper because he's like more outgoing anyway.
True, but still, I'm just like it's.
You just won the Super Bowl, dude. Like,
yeah, you can enjoy it a little bit.
Well, did you hear Saquon in the one moment on the field? He went up to Jalen Hurts and he was like, is Jalen Hurts going to smile now? He goes, when the clock hits 0, dude, they're up 40-6, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, he's seen Tom Brady games. He was like, game ain't over.
Yeah,
he's got that. He's that Kobe mentality.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
But really, just like stud performance. Like you could tell as soon as he came on the field, he was locked in.
Oh yeah. Like I said, that dagger to Devontae Smith, like that was insane in the third quarter. Like I really thought they were just going to chew the clock out, run the ball.
They weren't done. They were just like, no. We're going to keep scoring. And I don't even care.
And how about Jake Elliott too? By the way,
16 points on
most ever.
The first one was close.
I didn't think it was going in. I'm not going to lie, but most ever in the Super Bowl history.
Yeah, that was I mean, really, just everybody showed up. It was without question, everybody showed up. The other thing too was the fact that like both of our excuse me, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith had touchdowns. But I know this is story-ish that the recent comments by AJ Brown.
Oh, on Instagram, yeah, he's ready.
Yeah, and I'm just like, him saying after a few days I've had time to reflect on being a champion. I tried to feel how everyone made it seem to be a champion. Unfortunately, it was short-lived, 2 days to be exact. I've never been a champion at the highest level before, but I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for the game comes when I dominate. It's the hunt that does it for me. It's when the DB drops his head and surrender because he can't F with me. The intense battles, early mornings, late night sacrifices. I love putting smiles on people's faces. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love. Back to work. And I saw some people's reaction to that and like calling him selfish. And I'm like, I'm not going to bash one of the, if not the best wide receiver. Like, I'm not going to say he's the best. I'm not. That's a whole other conversation. I'm not going to bash him for sitting there saying he said he enjoyed the Super. He wants another one. He's like, it's back to work. And I'm like, what? I'm going to be mad?
Well,
because he's like, no, I want to dominate. I want to be the best.
Smitty did the same thing today. He posted on Instagram, back to work tomorrow. Is somebody gonna get mad at that? Like, I mean, obviously he's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. He wants another ring.
Right.
And honestly, I want that. I mean, look at the 2018 team that we had after we won. They paraded around. Doug Peterson went on a book tour in the off season. I mean, like, I just think the team is just so close and locked in that they just want to keep winning.
I mean, Nick Sirianni was on stage singing
oh yeah,
whatever the hell it was. I can't remember the song.
Why does everyone keep talking about me?
Yeah, NKOTB or is that Boys to Men? Whatever.
Yeah, listen, let him enjoy it.
Oh, I don't care. Now he can do it. He won the Super Bowl.
I wonder.
Last time he told to the Chiefs, it didn't work out so well.
I wonder. I think it'll hit all of them on Friday. Trust me. When they're going down the floor, like that's when it normally hits.
He's intense and self-absorbed, and we don't care. Go AJ. I don't as long as it doesn't affect
the team,
everything on the team, which it
it
doesn't. He's been like this since the beginning.
Yeah,
and I think that's the thing. Is this really the first wide receiver that we've ever heard say he wants the ball, calls a star? I mean, Myles Garrett is publicly asking for a trade right now.
Possibly to the Eagles.
I know.
The only concern we have right now is who is going to get the most out of control and have an epic speech on Friday.
I know, because it's like, dude. I mean, we know it. We know who it's not going to be. We know who the most mellow person's going to be. It's going to be Hurts.
I think it's going to be Dickerson.
I could see him. I would love to see Jalen
Clay
get up there and just let loose.
Well, no, we don't need him to let loose.
That's true. It's true. Now, I mean, it'd probably be dude, could you imagine if CJGJ gets up there?
I know it's good. That's what I was just about to say.
He's going to go up. They're just going to pull. No. No.
They would have to
get arrested
on TV. They would have to have it censored right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even kidding. They would have to have it censored right away.
Yeah.
No, I think honestly, I mean, it could be Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson.
They'll probably give it to Brandon Graham. Last year, go out on a high note.
I wonder who will speak. Jalen's definitely going to speak.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, hey, guys, we did it.
Hey. All right, I'll see you later.
See you in the off season.
Nah, I would say, I mean, Brandon Graham's on everything. He's always on 94. He's got the Brandon Graham show. Like,
I would imagine
it'd be him.
I would imagine it'd be like him, Lane Johnson,
I want Jake Elliott to come up there.
Be like,
throw Jake Elliott up there.
They're definitely gonna have Cooper on there. I would imagine Cooper, and I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be a fun time to watch on TV when I get home.
Yeah, I'll be at work. I'm not.
It'll be on NBC Philly Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing I wanted to show, which was just a fantastic picture, is I'm like, dude.
Oh, I know.
Like, he's already 2 steps in the end zone, and he's still locked in like Forrest
still
Gump
ready to
runs
run
into the tunnel. It's like when Forrest Gump runs into the tunnel. It's just like he's going to keep going.
Yeah. I also we also should, I guess we should bring up the whole Jason Kelce thing.
There is no Jason Kelce thing. My mom said Brandon and Coach are going to cry.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. And did you see the picture of Mahomes and Fred from Scooby-Doo took? And it was Dak, yeah. What's the Jason Kelsey thing?
The whole thing where he was like crying today. They like congratulate the Eagles on New Heights podcast. I guess it was like some Monday morning. They deleted it because I guess Travis was like really upset that they got smoked. And Jason was like, it was really hard. He's like,
oh yeah, I saw that today. Like I saw scenes from that.
And people are pissed, and they're like, dude, just say you openly wanted the Chiefs to win.
Oh, Jason?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't.
I just think it was hard because this was a great tweet I saw. It said, I don't think Jason Kelsey was sad the Chiefs lost. I think he was sad that the Eagles completely buried his brother in the Super Bowl and he saw him quit. If Travis had a good game, I doubt Jason would be this upset about it.
That's literally what Jason said before the Super Bowl. He said, he was just like, he's like, I want the Eagles to win for the sake of, I used to play for them and I have a lot of ties. He lives here. He's like, but I also want to see my brother succeed.
But the fact that his brother quit after the first quarter.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. He looked awful.
He looked like he looked like he should retire.
I mean, yeah, it's but I'm just like, I'm not going to give him a hard time like for him saying like trying to stick up for his brother. And the clip I saw where he basically just said, he's like, I know no matter what I say, I'm going to get picked apart. And I said, yes, because that's the world today. That's social media. Anything you say, you know.
I think it would have been. But I think it would have been. I think it would be different if they didn't have a podcast together. Like, I don't think it would. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would be as big as news because Jason wouldn't have to come on and explain himself.
I mean, but would it have?
You know what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have been a bigger deal. They didn't if they lost to somebody other than the Eagles. So really, it's just like. I mean,
because like obviously, if the Eagles were playing the Bills and the Eagles did that to the Bills, Jason would be like hype, like real excited.
I mean, at that point, Travis Kelsey would be rooting for the Eagles, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he would probably be at the parade.
Right. So I'm just like, this is just because it's a situational thing. I'm not gonna rip into Jason Kelsey for anything. Like,
no,
you're allowed to root for your brother, and he tried to word it as best he could, and it's just, dude, no matter what, you're gonna come out bad.
But I will say this. For him, though, this was definitely the worst outcome for the Chiefs to get blown out like that. Like if it, like I said, if it was a close game and Travis had like 100 yards and a touchdown and we won, I don't think he would be like that.
Ravens 76 B Moore said, "Congrats, Eagles! You got the fraudulent Chiefs in the mouth. Eagles made the Chiefs look like soft as grapes." That is putting it gently,
very nicely.
Very nicely. Thank you very much. I think I would have rather see the Ravens, to be honest.
Yeah, Ravens, Bills are. I wish the Bengals.
Anyone.
Yeah, but yeah.
But yeah, no, I just that whole situation's so stupid. Like,
yeah, I know.
You started a sports podcast with your brother. You were both professional football players at the same time. It was literally such a big story when you played each other.
Well, it was before they played each other.
I'm saying, like, and it became a bigger story when they played each other.
Yeah.
And then they're interviewing the mom and all that. And I'm like, it's not going to go away.
That's what I mean. And you could see where it was going. Like you could be like, I just thought like, it's just not a good idea. It doesn't mesh well, especially now.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but that's the whole point of the podcast. I thought was for them to get an inside scoop.
But I will say that,
like the inner discussions and stuff.
But I will say this though, like when Travis won in 2022, like he didn't show no remorse for Jason, like at all. So why should Jason show remorse for him? Right. Just because he had a bad game, one of the worst games ever?
It's literally, it all comes down to because of the fact that Jason's not playing anymore, and people want to turn something into nothing into something.
But if I was Jason, I would have been like, ha, 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 you guys got spanked. like you know what I mean?
I would never see him do that, and he would never do
it. Maybe
no matter how drunk he gets. I'm curious if he's going to be at the parade.
He is.
I wonder how drunk he'll be at the parade then.
I don't know. I mean, it'll be probably hammered.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, it depends if he has to do a show later or not. Just one thing I would
Nah.
love to do. I want to go to his show, his ESPN
The New
show.
Heights thing?
Yeah.
The late night thing?
The late night thing, yeah.
That would be cool. Dude, that thing is real late. It's like 1 a.m.
I'm curious if it's even, yeah, but there's no chance that it's not filmed during the day like it is, like all the other shows are, like the late night show with Jimmy Fallon and all them. They're all filmed at like 5 at night.
Yeah, but I don't know if he has time. I mean, he's on ESPN too, like doing the NFL countdown, all that. Well, now
Not
he
anymore.
does. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. Jason knows his brother's a child. He had to make him feel better.
That is also a good point.
Yes.
But he's got the most famous girlfriend in the world, like just and 3 Super Bowl rings.
And didn't hear a damn thing about her besides getting booed.
There was
nothing. And I'm like, and even
I couldn't believe it.
Talking about her, like just saying, like, I don't get it. Like she's grown the game, and she has. I'm not taking that away.
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%. But I've never seen that.
Also, can we really real quick? This is probably like one of the last topics. Is can we compare Jon Hamm announcing the Chiefs
Cooper?
Compared to Bradley Cooper? Because Jon Hamm, like his voice sounded like mine, like breaking, like he was sick or hitting puberty.
Dude.
And I'm like, I'm listening. I'm like, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of people cheering at all.
And then
Bradley Cooper came out, and then I was like, dude, that is an Eagles home game.
Dude, the stadium was shaking. It had to have been. Like, it was so loud on the TV.
Yeah.
And I think that was where I'm not even kidding, that might have played a part in where the Chiefs were like, uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, that was insane.
I mean, even on Cooper's pick 6, you heard how loud it was.
Yeah, did you see that clip of where it's like on the field and there's there's nothing? It's just the sound of the game, dude. That was a home game.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
like
just
it's like a Phillies or Eagles game. We take
every
over.
time. Yeah, no, it was awesome, and hopefully we can do it again.
Run it back. Without Kellen Moore.
Damn. I know. I'm pissed about that, but at least he didn't pull Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, which real quick, not about Jonathan Gannon. But I want to say, like, I think it is the dumbest thing that coaches are being interviewed right before the Super Bowl, during the playoffs. I'm like, dude, how about you wait until after
everything.
The Super Bowl's over? It's not like you start 1 week after the Super Bowl's over, you start the new season. Like you have a little bit of time. Like,
yeah, you have until April for the draft. So like,
right.
It doesn't. I don't agree with it.
It's one of the dumbest things ever. The other thing, the one thing I wanted to see, which I saw it today, which is really funny. God, I'm sorry. So there was a thing I saw today where it was just like, oh my God, it was like the 2012 QB draft. Did you see this?
Not 2012.
2012 quarterback draft.
Okay.
So they were like, it's like anybody would take these players. And then when you hear the list of names, it's just like, what? So obviously Andrew Luck, but this was the whole point. It was Andrew Luck retired. RG3 retired. Ryan Tannehill, who is like,
he's almost
he's in like some whatever independent league or something like that. Russell Wilson, who was highly sought after and now just, I don't know.
Sucks.
I mean, would you think Russell Wilson's a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, he's got. Does he have 2 rings?
1.
No, I don't think he's quite there yet. Well, I don't think he's going to get there. I'm sorry.
So it was where did it go? I just got rid of it. Okay, so Russell Wilson, Nick Foles retired, Kirk Cousins, who's selected by the 4th round. So the whole thing was Russell Wilson's on his way out. Robert Griffin is retired. Andrew Luck retired. Ryan Tannehill on his way out. Nick Foles retired. Kirk Cousins, the thing I saw was just like, can only really play at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Which is crazy.
Then,
wait, hold on. Before you go any further, it's crazy because Andrew Luck retired in 6 years.
In his prime.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's my thing: is I definitely have to give him credit because when you're just like, yeah, I'm out. Like I don't love the game anymore. It's you're stopping someone from performing if you're just going to try and be there. And if you don't feel it, I mean, that can
It's
cause
just
you to get hurt
wild.
too.
It's just wild that he got drafted in 2012 and retired 6 years later.
I know it's so crazy. It's been 6 years.
Yeah,
And then do you know who else was drafted?
in 2012,
Yeah, drafted by the Detroit Lions at quarterback.
Dan Orlovsky.
He was also drafted. Kellen Moore.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
Our
was the
Super
one
Bowl offensive coordinator, who is now going to be a head coach.
he was the one that ran the Statue of Liberty at Boise State.
Yeah,
in the bowl game.
So they were saying they were like the 2012 draft class is unbelievable, and only like 2 of them are in the league still.
Yeah, and 2 of them have a Super Bowl ring.
2 of them have a Super Bowl. So,
I'm sorry, 3.
Well, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. But it's just, you know what though? I still can't get over that Andrew Luck got drafted in 2012, and like that's weird.
Yeah. Was it 2016 that he retired?
No, it was 2018. It was the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It was 2017.
2019, yeah, he officially
or 2019, yeah.
Ahead of the 2019, yeah, it was right after. Yeah, I really don't blame him. I don't.
No, I mean the Colts sucked anyway.
He was gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
So to end the show, obviously, let's go. Wait, what happened to we had the really cool picture. Where did it go?
What picture?
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
No, the background. So, to officially end football season, and that means baseball season's here, man. Pitchers and catchers reported today.
Yeah, first thing I saw was Taijuan Walker on my Twitter feed, and I went to
what
throw
the
my
frick?
phone. Dude, like, come on, man. I don't need to see him. He's not even like. Is he going to be in the? He's got to be in the minors, dude.
Well, that's why I saw Dave Dombrowski was just like, oh, he's like he was there, and
looks
Taijuan
great.
Walker already looked better than he did last year's spring training, and I'm like, that was not hard to do.
He showed up,
right? That was not hard because he wasn't facing any batters. It's very easy to look better.
I'm just like, come on, man. I saw his interview. I had to listen to it. I listened to
Walker's?
Interview. Yeah. He's like, yeah, it was bad. I'm like, that's an understatement.
Yeah, he's like, I've already moved on. I'm like,
I haven't.
Everyone wants to move on from you. Yeah. And also, it's just like, dude, looking at this rotation, you're not going to be up here, right?
Yeah, like, no.
Unless he's going to, dude, I'm telling you, I think that my hot take, if you want to put it that way. I think they're going to try him in the bullpen. That's why they didn't try and sign any more relievers.
That's what I think. So I think that too, and I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah,
as like a long reliever or something.
Yeah,
and then when we do the 7-man rotation, because Andrew Painter's not ready yet.
Yeah, well, they already said they're not bringing him up until like July. So
nice.
It's fine. Well, it's fine. The Mets already lost a pitcher, so.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah, Dylan Covey, who we used to have, he already opted out of his contract.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, so the Mets are on their way. So we will start diving heavily into baseball.
Yes.
The Sixers are not worth talking about.
Nope.
Because
they're tanking.
Nothing's changed there. And Embiid played yesterday, so.
Yeah, and literally gave up a wide open shot.
He pulled a Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he did. I loved it. You keep tanking for Cooper Flag, baby.
Whatever. Well, then the Eagles should trade up for a tight end.
I don't think they're going to have to.
You think Goddard's staying?
No, I think they could possibly draft that kid from Penn State at 32.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to go early. I don't think he's going to be there at the last pick.
He might be. I mean, who knows? People don't really think of Penn State prospects that highly in the NFL. Besides,
they're going to call and ask Howie what he thinks of them, and he's going to be like, "I like him," and then someone's going to take him.
I think they will be trading for Myles Garrett, though.
It's going to be interesting to see contract-wise what they do because that was the other thing. Thank you for bringing that up. So we're not done yet. This is the last thing I promise. Is you see, and I've seen this for the last month or two. All these people. So this is a two-parter. Is all these people bashing the Eagles especially the Nick Wright.
Ah,
Where's all the apologies? Never see them. You'll never see them.
no.
On Saquon Barkley was going to be an awful signing. Jalen Hurts is overrated. Nick Sirianni should have been fired week 3. Howie Roseman, this ties into all of it. Howie Roseman is going to be in cap hell in the next year or two. And I'm like, have you not paid attention to anything that Howie Roseman has done since he has been back in GM? The dude constantly figures out the cap. He has never not figured out the cap. He restructures everything. And players never, ever fight back about restructuring a deal.
I actually think it's going to be easier since they won a Super Bowl.
Well, with the bonuses that players get.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, the cap usually goes up every year. So it's just, I mean, I don't think they're bringing back every single free agent that they have. Like it's Goddard, Sweat, Ballin, I think is coming back. But I think Sweat's going to be gone.
Sweat. I knew Sweat was gone the minute that he changed agents to Drew Rosenhaus a couple days ago.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was funny. It's just like all these people, like, do you not pay attention at all to anything that the GM is?
No, what they do is they're just praying that it happens.
Yes, because he's dodgering the NFL,
which I'm fine with.
Yeah, it's fine. But that's where the NFL succeeds in the fact that you can't dodge her that much.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know we can't even say. I mean, do we say "Go Birds" anymore? Because they did. They went and conquered.
Yeah, we say it one more time until next year.
The Eagles went. But go Birds, and baseball season is officially here.
Yes.
We'll start getting into that, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
But Mom, Mrs. Pizzo, Derek, Casey.
Thank you guys.
And there was one other person. Raven 76 be more. Thank you very much. Oh, and Donna. Can never forget Donna.
Yes.
She's always here.
Yes.
Thank you all much for hanging out. We will see you next week. And go Birds. Let's go Phillies.
Go Birds. Go Phillies.
Later.